Finally, that question was answered for me. Was he an arrogant fool like the others, or was he not? No, he is not. He is not an arrogant fool. Au contraire, he is completely different from any other Shokugeki cook out there. It's amazing. Thank you, Yuto. Thank you for finally making it clear to me what kind of character Megishima is. Yes, this is the Shokugeki no Soma chapter 222, and it's only a one flashback, but it finally shows just what kind of personality Megishima has. Moreover, why he was in Totsuki to begin with. The chapter begins with, of course, Megumi and Soma to get to near a site in, you know, in Hokkaido, where they're gonna, because here is him. I'm glad that Megumi went with Soma, but the arena warned them that it will be a very difficult match, mostly because, well, Megishima seems to have hated Shokugeki ever since he entered. Moreover, all the other ramen people treats Megumi and Soma with hostility because it comes from, you know, Totsuki. And now we see just how far Asami's corruption has gone. He hasn't. He has already started to attack the restaurants. He has forcibly created partnership with many of the Hokkaido restaurants, and he has closed them down. I mean, just how much more is he going to become this evil? Stop him already! I don't care what you say, and yes, I think you know who I am talking about in real life. Asami is evil. He is taking away the food of free and only wants to serve his dishes. The only problem is these dishes, as tasty as they can be, is actually robbing away freedom. And if they don't comply to the pressure of supplying the right way, many shops will be closed down. So they really need to destroy his central. But the ramen industry is surprisingly fighting on. The reason for that is thanks to the young master, who is revealed to be Megishima. Turns out that in his youth he has actually trolleyed around with a ramen stand and has actually saved a lot of different restaurants from bankruptcy in the ramen, and therefore he became to known as the young master or boss, effectively maybe the youthful king of ramen world, or a ramen yakuza, maybe I could say. Even Soma says, is he really a high school student? Well, granted, Megishima doesn't exactly look like a high school student. But I guess this debunked the theory that he is related to Gin. But yeah, it also answers why he entered Elite 4, Elite 10 to begin with. Because, well, technically he did not enter Elite 10, but he has got many achievements. The only difference is, unlike so many other Elite 10 so far, his achievements have actually been for the greater good. I mean, a lot of different achievements of the Elite 10 are self-serving and extremely selfish. However, Megishimas is surprisingly a lot kind. I mean, I know what you're trying to say. Izan also saved his restaurants from bankruptcy. However, it's worth noting that those restaurants were noted to be very corrupt. While Megishima has simply helped humble restaurants into becoming very good. And he is also very supportive of them all, saying to supporting everyone else. He's incredibly popular. Elsewhere, Megishima and Soma and Megumi begins to talk. Of course, Megishima still refuses, while Megumi asks, "Why did you enter the Elite 10 to begin with?" And then, surprisingly, he reveals that he technically did not even want to be in the Elite 10 to begin with. He is not. He has never been one for competitives. All he actually wanted was to learn how to become a better chef. It's almost similar to Megumi. Megumi is not a competitor. She just want to cook for everyone else. The only reason why he enrolled in the culinary cuisine school was actually because it was the best. So he began to put up way one match after another, and eventually he entered the third seat. So technically, I think he is one of the first examples of by mistake reaching an Elite 10. He did not even aim for it, and yet he got that way. That is so unique. A chef that is not even well. I wouldn't say what's that word? Damn, I dropped it. I want to say, yeah, ambitious. One of the few chefs that is not so ambitious, and yet he still got it. Um, and he actually makes a good point. If there's competition in cooking, it should only be about who can please the customer better. That is a very good point. And what I wish Totsuki could change. Megumi, of course, pleads because she wants to save her friends. And even though Megishima shows that while he actually uh, sympathized with that, he is protecting the ramen culture. So suddenly, Soma, being Soma, decides to say that if you participate in this one, I'll win the elite percent, and then give special favors to the ramen industry. While Megumi says, "Wait, if you really do, if Megishima Senpai really does join, then technically he will become the first seat." And but then says Soma that, "Oh, then I'll just defeat him too." Of course, Megishima reacts to that, saying, "I may hate competition, but I hate big talkers even more." And Soma, well, technically he's not exactly a big talker, yet at the same time he is a big talker. I think he's a very good mix of a guy that's sometimes just as big talk as he is sincere. So because that means that it's not a trace of arrogance per se, it's just that he really knows that he can do it. So he surprisingly managed to rile up Megishima, saying, "If I make a ramen better than yours, wouldn't it prove that I walk the talk?" So Megishima accepts the chaps, saying that this is not a match, although this is a discipline for an underclassman. And of course they cook a lot, and Soma gets defeated every single time. However, Soma is determined. I want more match. I won't stop until I meet defeat. And surprise, well, not exactly too surprisingly. However, Megishima defeats Soma every single time. A third seat defeated Soma many times. Do not even know how many. It seemed to be 6 times or something like that. But every single time where Soma dueled, he never let up because, well, he is Soma, and it's not a Shokugeki where he loses everything. No, this is just a cooking duel. After when night has finally fallen, while Mishima still sweats, Soma looks completely away, but he is not. He has still not lost his fire in a glow, and he then says that while his friends are, Megishima says, "I don't get me wrong, I sympathize with your friends, but why dragging out this won't change the difference in our skill between us?" So Soma says that his friends are important, but he also wants every single dish to be free. Once again, Soma shows both a kind and a little selfish side. Then again, this is mostly the kind side. I mean, I said the selfish one because he also added something else besides his friends. However, he also makes a good point. While it's Soma is sometimes a very enigmatic minion, he at the same time is kind to understand that he wants that and he wants that and he really wants that, because one reason why he defies the central is not simply because he doesn't agree with them, it's also because he wants every single dish to be free, and he strongly believes and knows that the central administration of Asami is taking away see, I have always told you that before. They are taking away the freedom of food. He wants to have tonkatsu, yakitori, kuri, hotspot, and anything more. I just want to eat food created by all sorts of stuff and compete with them. The more people there are to make it completely different dish from the more fun it gets. I want to protect that kind of environment. Basically, Soma says, I think what I translated to, he enjoys always having a good match with a good chef. but he doesn't. But he only wants it in order to test out to see how much more he can improve. So before he can have one more match, Soma collapses, but still pointing. However, that was the moment when Soma actually said to Megishima that he wanted to free the cooking and want to eat food created by all sorts of chefs and compete with them. And the more people there are who makes things different from my dish, the more fun it gets. I want to protect that kind of environment. That's the dish he wants. So Megishima, having his heart moved by that, says that he gave up the match, while Soma did not. Therefore, Soma won by default. So he'll join the regiment cuisine and give it all for victory. However, I don't really think he will have victory. It will be kind of heartbreaking if he doesn't win now, but I have to say I really like this chapter. It had a certain heart-feeling moments and finally confirmed what kind of person Megishima is. He is not arrogant, nor is he someone who just says that I'll do one thing. He is a loner, but he's more of a loner because he wants to protect the things he likes, and that is ramen. That is why he did not vote for Asami. He knew that Asami would take away the freedom of ramen, the ramen he liked. That's the reason why he didn't vote for Asami. So thank you very much for confirming that Megishima is a good character. He's still a lone wolf though. Will he win this match? Probably not. However, he at least give it all. However, if Megishima loses, then how the hell are the other characters gonna win? Once again, we have a two powerful villain. The first seat and the second seat. You better win, main characters. So give me your thoughts if you have any.